Let us continue our course. So for the last section, we have talked about how to draw the histogram for each numerical variables. So later we have to find out another variables. We would like to investigate the distribution for income. So what is the distribution for income? So what is the income? The customer's annual income, 年收入是多少? Okay, so you find all the source code is almost the same, right? We just replace total current amount, this variable name, so as to change to income, this one. Okay, so we like to draw the histogram for income. So you may see the content for income. This one, okay? 56,000 for annual income. See, I think 56,000 is average income for US. Okay, so the label is histogram of income. Count. So for Y is the numbers for each label. The title, the graphic title, histogram of income. And we also put two index, the two text in our diagram for peak and the maximum value for income. Great. Okay, so let us show the result for the income histogram. So with this diagram, you may see the distribution for income. So what did you get from here? So from this diagram, you may see the peak for income, which is 0. So how many how many customers they don't have any income? More than 2,000, right? But this is dominate all the diagrams, but it's hard for us to see the distribution for the rest of the incomes, right? So here we like to do a process to drop all the income which don't have the income. We just to specify the customers, the income is bigger than 0. So we will delete all the instance for income equal to 0. Okay, so here is the process for showing the income bigger than 0. Since with this comments, we may show all the value for each customers. So what is about this one? Bigger than 0. So you may see the difference with these two instructions. The first one, to show all the numbers for income. And then for this one, to check is the income is bigger than 0. For the first one, right? 56,000 is bigger than 0. So the result is true. What about the second one? The index 1 is the second element for income variable. So the result is false. Why? Because 0 is not bigger to 0. It's not bigger, right? So it gets the false result. What about the third one? True. false, right? So you may see the rest one, the last one. You get the answer false. Okay, so with this result, it can help us to filter the data bigger than 0. So with this function, this one function is to check if the number is bigger is bigger than 0. And here we to retrieve the data which the income is bigger than 0. So you may find the result this one. So how many data did we retrieve? There we retrieve 6,800 rows. So that means the customers, so how many customers don't have the income? So how many people don't have the income? So since all the customer is 9,134, right? But we got this number 6,817 with the income is bigger than 0. So this means there are 2,317 customers. They do not have any income for last years. Okay, so these instructions to filter the criteria for us. Okay, so later I will teach more about how to filter the data you want. Okay, so with these instructions, so we get almost 7,000 customers data, and we have a new data set we call DF income to save the result which the income is bigger than 0. Okay, so with here you may find the data here, like DF income here. So you may find here the income index, where is income? Here, right? You can to sort your income, the number of your income. So the minimum income for the subset of DF is 10,000 1,000块钱美金 the annual salaries. What is the maximum? Almost 100,000 10万美金. Okay, it's the maximum. The minimum, maximum. You can just click the variable name to sort in the order of the income. Okay, so we find a subset for income bigger than 0. Okay, it's time for us to draw the diagram for DF income, not the data frame DF, because we figured out the data, the income is equal to 0. Okay, it's time for us to draw the diagram for histogram. Here you will find out it's more clear to see the distribution for the income for your customers, right? From 10, right? From 10,000 all the way to 100,000. So you know the distribution for your customers. So average for your customers may be around 40,000 4万多美金。And what is the peak? Peak is here, right? So peak is here. This one is 22,000 25000美金 22,000. Okay. Okay, so let me have some parameter change for our diagram. So please just copy the source code into our exercise program. If you want to use less bins for your diagram, so we just only use 10 or maybe 10, okay, 10 too much, or maybe 30 bars for a histogram. So you may see the bars is not 100, it's only 60. Oh no, 30. Okay, 30个 bar for this one. But you may to change the XY value for each, for the peak and for the maximum. Okay, so how to change the value for peak and the maximum you may find here. So if here the peak is this one here, right? So you can move your cursor, and I would like to put a text here. So what is the number for X and Y? For 31,400, 430. Why? 400. So you change the diagram wise with this one. 32,000. And what else? So you may see the difference. And 430. 430. So I just change to 450. Should be okay. Okay, too high, too much, too high. 430. Okay, so you know how to add a text in your diagram. What about the maximum? Maximum, we move the Y to maybe 180. 180. Okay, so right now the text format should be okay. Okay, so you can have less bar as you like. 10. Only 10 bars for our histogram. Okay, there's only 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 bars for our histogram. But you have to change the XY value for peak and maxima also. Okay, you know. Okay, so that's all for today's course. And I have one question for you guys, which is homework 1. So maybe you know how to know the difference between these two diagrams for the first one, right? Because there's too many customers, their incomes are 0. They don't have any income. And with this diagram, it's hard for us to see the distribution for the rest of the customers. So that's why we filled out the data, the income which is 0 with this one, and draw the diagram. And then it's easy for you guys to see the distribution for the income. Okay, so for today's homework is please to compute and draw the histogram for each variables. So with this comment, you can see all the data type for each variables. But I need only to show the histogram for list, which is numerical variables, floating point or integers. So I have retrieved all the numerical numbers for you guys. So how many variables for this data set? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 variables are real numbers, continue numerical numbers. So you have to draw the histogram to for this rest of the variables, because I have made examples for income and total claim. So it's time for you guys to draw the histogram for customer lifetime value, monthly premium auto. So okay, so you should know the distribution for these variables. Okay, so that's all for today's course. So next week I would like to explain how to do the data analysis process. Okay, see you guys next week.